Today we are going to start our second lecture from Ramesh Ophthalmology book, in which we will study glands of the eyelids and the other topics. First of all, you should know that there are main glands present in the eyelids. These are the sebaceous glands of Zeiss, ciliary gland of mole, and the dorsal glands, also known as the meibomian glands. Sebaceous glands are the anteriormost and they open into the each follicle. If we draw the lateral section of the eyelid, like this one, you can say the lateral section of the eyelid drawn here, and this is the lash follicle coming out. Here we can say here are present one type of glands. These are known as the glands of Zeiss. Glands of Zeiss. Sebaceous glands of Zeiss. Okay. The other type of glands present here are ciliary gland of mouth. So how these glands secrete their secretions? The gland of Zeiss open directly into the each follicle. It opens directly into the each follicle, while glands of mole, they open either into the gland of Zeiss, open into the lash follicle, or they open directly into the eyelid margin. Okay. So two main glands we have discussed. The look here what is written in the Ramesh. Glands of Zeiss are the anteriormost, open into the each follicle, while the glands of mole, these are the modified sweat glands. Okay, remember that modified apocrine sweat gland open into follicle or in the eyelid margins. This is very important. And the next glands are the dorsal glands, meibomian glands. These are known as the dorsal glands because they are located within the torsus or the dorsal plate. First of all, have a look at what is the dorsal plate. It is the structure that gives the firmness and the strength to the eyelid, and so that a shape of the eyelid can be maintained. Okay. So before reading the dorsal glands, we will see in detail what is the dorsal plate. So have a look in this diagram. This structure present here, this is the dorsal plate. This is the dorsal plate of the upper eyelid. This is the dorsal plate of the lower eyelid. Okay, it is thicker in the center and tapers towards the periphery. Here similarly it is thicker in the center and the taper towards the periphery, and the dorsal plate of the upper eyelid is thicker as compared to that of the lower eyelid. Okay, you can see here the thickness of the upper dorsal plate and the lower dorsal plate as well. Okay, this is the structure known as the dorsal plate. Let's clear it in another diagram. This structure present here, this is one. This is the dorsal plate. Okay, this is the dorsal plate. I have already told you that the dorsal gland or the Meibomian gland are located within the dorsal plate. These are the Meibomian gland openings. Okay. If this is the lateral section of the eyelid, here is the structure present like this. This is known as the dorsal plate or the torsus. Within the gland, I have shown you the openings like present here. These are the glands located within the dorsal plate or the torsus. So these are known as dorsal glands or Meibomian glands. So now let's read from the Ramez. Meibomian glands, their ducts open posterior to the eyelashes or the eyelid margin. This point is important. Okay, they open posterior to the eyelashes or the eyelid margin. They are 20 to 25 in number, embedded in the dorsal plate. I have already mentioned and shown you in the diagrams. These are seen as yellowish lines in the inverted lid. I will show you that modified sebaceous glands produce oily secretions. Meibomian glands are the modified sebaceous glands. They produce oily secretion that form the outer layer of the precorneal tear film so that it hinders the rapid evaporation of the tears. This one is important. They secrete the forms the outer layer of the precorneal tear film that prevents the rapid evaporation of the tears. Dorsal glands drain through the conjunctival surface of the lids. Here we read the line that they are present as the yellowish lines in the inverted lid. So look here, this is the section of the eyelid showing these glands present, these yellowish dots, these lines. These are the openings of the Meibomian glands. Okay, all these Meibomian glands. Now, so now we will study the next structure, which is the orbital septum. First of all, have a look in the diagram how the orbital septum looks like. We have studied that the orbit is made up of the different bones. Orbit is made up of the different bones. The front of the orbit is made by the frontal bone. If we draw a section and we say that this is the frontal bone, and there is a structure that lines this bone. This is known as the periosteum. Okay, this is known as the periosteum. Periosteum gives rise to a thickened structure known as orbital septum. Orbital septum that attaches to the upper border of the torsus. This is the torsus. We have already studied that. So we can say that the orbital septum is thickness of the periosteum which covers the orbital bone. So this periosteum gives rise to orbital septum which attaches to the upper border of the dorsal plate. In this diagram, we can also see the orbital septum. First of all, look at that this hole. This structure is the orbital bone, and this white line, look here, this white line, this hole, this is the periosteum. This is the periosteum, and this give rise to a thick structure. This is known as orbital septum. Similarly, in the upper eyelid, this is the orbital bone, and this structure, this is known the periosteum, and it gives rise to this structure. This is known as the orbital septum. Orbital septum is a very important structure that is attached to the anterior lacrimal crest of the maxilla and the posterior maxillary crest. This is a very important MCQ. Please remember this. What is the function of the orbital septum? First of all, it separates the eyelid from the content of the orbital cavities, superiorly continuous with the periosteum. Okay, I have shown you that it is superiorly continuous with the periosteum. This I have shown you the periosteum. Okay, this is the orbital septum continuous with the septum. So similarly written here is that it separates the eyelid from the contents of the orbital cavity, and superiorly it is continuous with the periosteum. Medially, we have seen the superior attachment. Now medially, posterior to the medial palpebral ligament, and laterally anterior to the lateral palpebral ligament, posterior to the lateral palpebral ref, weakest on the medial side of the lower eyelid. Okay, weakest on the medial side of the lower eyelid. We can see these ligaments in the diagram. You can see here that this is the dorsal plates. These are the dorsal plates here. Okay. This structure here, this one, it is attached superiorly as well with the LPS muscle, and these are the ligaments: lateral palpebral ligament laterally, and the medial palpebral ligament medially. Dorsal plate, we have seen that, read from here. Dorsal plate is, I have already told you that it is larger 10 mm in the upper lid, okay, and smaller 5 mm in the lower lid, attached to the upper edge orbital septum plus the smooth muscle portion of the levator palpebrae superioris. I have shown you recently that. So that was all about today's lecture.